Today's episode is sponsored by Jane, a clinic management software and EMR. The Jane team knows that when your workday is spent providing care to your patients or clients, it can feel like there aren't enough hours in the day for the rest of your admin tasks. This can mean that scheduling appointments becomes after-hours tasks, turning what should be restful evenings into extra long work days. That's why Jane has designed user-friendly online booking, so you can give your patients the freedom to book their appointments at their own convenience, whether that's after hours or on weekends. Patients can also manage their appointments, fill out intake forms, and enable SMS and email reminders from their secure online portal, which saves you from having to manually do it. To see how Jane can help you reclaim your evenings and weekends, head to jane.app to book a personalized demo. Or if you're ready to get started, you can use the code WELLNESS1MO at the time of sign up for a 1-month grace period applied to your new account. Hi there, and welcome to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. I'm Kendall Hagenson.
And I'm Anna Rudell. We're thrilled to have you join us on this journey of creating innovative, patient-centered wellness centers.
As experienced health and wellness providers, we've seen firsthand the challenges of delivering comprehensive, holistic care to our patients.
That's why we created this podcast, to share the knowledge, strategies, and insights we've gained from our own experiences and from connecting with experts in the field.
Each episode, we'll dive into a different aspect of building and growing a successful wellness center, from developing a strong multidisciplinary team to implementing cutting-edge technologies and treatment approaches.
We'll also share practical tips, resources, and real-world examples to help you overcome common obstacles and streamline your processes.
Our goal is to empower you with the tools and confidence you need to create a thriving wellness center that truly makes a difference in your patients' lives.
So whether you're just starting out or looking to take your existing practice to the next level, you're in the right place.
Get ready to learn, grow, and be inspired. Let's create something amazing together.
Welcome to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. I'm here with Anna. We're jumping into part 2 of our conversation, really about heading into the new year and some clinic transitions and clinic expansions. How you doing, Anna?
Doing well. How about you?
Good. Yeah, doing great. So last week we left off talking about your expansion into a bodywork kind of wing of your clinic. And before we hopped on today, we were talking a little bit about our kind of intentions for the new year and mantras for the new year. And I'm curious if you can share those mantras you have for yourself as you're heading into the year, but also heading into this expansion of your business and what you're keeping in mind in that process.
Yeah. So after the whole shenanigans in Southern California and that sense of knowing where and what I had to do around that, I think my mantra became change where necessary. That's my 2025 mantra, because I think oftentimes as clinic owners, we hold on to things or we're afraid of changing it because we know intuitively that there's going to be a big fallout from whatever choice we make in order to change. And so I want to embrace this year the idea that I can change. There is going to be fallout, but it's going to be okay. And I need to do what's necessary this year.
Good for you.
How about you?
Yeah, I feel similarly. I feel like I've learned over the years to be more brave in change, and that also the fallout, as you're talking about, can be reduced. Over the years, I have found like in building different skill sets and practicing different ways of communication and how to approach situations, that the fallout can be a bit reduced, but also my response to it, I have control over.
Yes.
And And that's the biggest thing that I've changed over the years is my response to it. And there are still, team members out there in the community who think I am the worst person to ever walk the face of this planet. And that's hard for me. I have never had a bad intention towards anyone on my team, and I've had to make hard decisions over the years, as we all have. And so there are also people in the community who have worked here and have voiced that they've had such a wonderful experience and being led by my leadership. And so there's that side too. But of course, I, tend to think more about the people who think I'm a horrible monster. But it's that learning the different response to those fallouts and situations, and being okay with people leaving our team too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like leaving the thing that we've built, leaving the family that we've built, leaving the culture that we've built, and not taking that personally, and being open to the right fit coming along. And I think, you've been in clinic ownership longer than I have. And I think we've both learned over the years, we're still going to hire the wrong person sometimes, even with our skill sets that we've learned over time, right? Even with these hiring strategies that we have put in place, even with all of the systems and training and onboarding and cultures we've built, that sometimes we will still hire a person that's not a fit, or someone who starts out as a fit and becomes not a fit after a year.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because ultimately we're hiring potential, right? I mean, there's no way to see how that's going to play out. If somebody is saying the right thing, there's no way to predict whether they're actually going to do the right thing once they're hired. You're hiring on their word and what they're showing in that moment. So yeah, you're absolutely right. There's no way to know, but you just do your best the moment and put everything else, the strong stuff, in place underneath. And so when you do need to make a transition or make a call, it's not catastrophic. And to the people that think you're the monster or I'm the monster out there, I know we've both been reading our friend Mel Robbins. Let them.
Yeah. Let them. Let them. We love Mel Robbins. If you haven't heard of her book yet, you're living under a rock, because her marketing team is amazing. But her new book is called The Let Them Theory. And Anne and I were just talking about this, where it's like, well, we love so much about Mel. She's hilarious and her stories are amazing. But she takes information, in the Let Them Theory, it's basically bringing together multiple theories from psychology that have been in place for years and many, many, many years, and that we use as mental health professionals all the time. But she is explaining it in a way that helps everyone integrate that information and also put it into action in their lives. And I just love her so much.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so applicable to business ownership, isn't it? We oftentimes try to jump in and rescue and stop the fall and stop the collapse. But really, it's not always our responsibility to make sure that somebody is performing optimally. If they want to fail, or if they want to not perform optimally, let them. And then
let them.
What is it she say?
Then let me. Yeah. Let them and let me, right? We have to take responsibility for how we respond to situations and just stop taking it personally, It's, there's a level of what we can do. I just had a situation where, I was out of the office for 2 weeks. If you listen to last week's episode, you'll understand why. And so we, and a lot of team members are out during this time of Christmas and New Year. It's just how it goes. But the business is still running, and we had someone join our team pretty recently before the end of the year. So did my very best with onboarding and training. We've got team lead involved. We've got office manager involved. Just tons of training set up and tons of communication. And we missed this one piece of communication where I thought a different team member it was around that we have providers present in services once a month. 2 providers present every month. And we like to give the new providers an opportunity right away so the team can get to know them and help with referrals. However, most of the time, they at least get to see the in-services for one round to understand what it is. And we usually ask permission for them to present. There was a major miscommunication, and the new team member was not asked permission to be put on the in-service schedule. But then it was shared with the team that they were supposed to be presenting very soon. Well, obviously, anyone would be upset and confused that they're now on the schedule. And they had no idea about this presentation that they're supposed to do in 2 weeks. So, yeah. And I was like, you know what? Shoot. Like I really thought we had this system in place, but the system broke down. And the communication didn't happen. So what do we have to do? We have to apologize, right? We got to apologize, take ownership. That's my bad. Even though I thought the system involved someone else being in charge of that permission.
Right. The buck stops with you.
Yep. That's still on me, right? That's on me. So apologize and, talk through it, give solutions. And I think as leaders, it's not about always taking on all the responsibility or ownership, right? But the buck does stop with us. And we have to jump in there and say, oh man, that's totally our bad.
Right. I'm so sorry. This is what happened. This is what should have happened. And this is what happened. And, we'll do better next time. Ever so sorry. Oh.
And that's how it's not about never having a rupture, right? In relationships with our employees and team members. It's about how we repair them.
Agreed. How's it been? I know you've been working more in the spa the last few months. You've had to step in where unexpectedly, let's put it that way. How's that? What are your learnings, Kendall?
Oh my goodness. It's really been such a privilege. And I say that honestly at this point. It was a little bit of a joke at the beginning, but I do say that honestly now. So for those who are new listeners to the podcast, my clinic started in Vancouver, Washington, and we have a kind of healthcare integrative clinic location. And then we have a integrative spa location that's a few blocks away, connected to a hotel. Our spa location has been open for 2 years, and we had a director for that location who left the company in October. And it was a bit of an unexpected transition. So in that process, we explored multiple avenues. We explored bringing someone else in to take on that location. And at the end of the day, it was decided I'm going to step in, at least temporarily, and be the director. I'm the director up at our clinic. So it's been really wonderful. It's absolutely been a transition. I added a workday to my week so that I could be at each location for enough physical time of being present. And I think the one thing that I learned from 2 years ago when we opened the spa that I was able to do differently, that a mistake that was made before we found the Managing Transitions book. And so I learned a lot from the opening of the spa. And so in this transition, I was able to step back and say, okay, what's most important? Well, let's ask the team.
Nice.
Let's ask the team who actually works there. What is most important to them, rather than me just deciding what is most important for them. And their biggest request was that the director be there more physically and be on site. I said, well, I can do that. I can absolutely do that. And so I'm doing it, and we're having lots of communication. It's really been an exploratory phase of lots of face-to-face meetings with each team member down there. We have a staff of about 6 people who work at that location right now, and some people work at both locations. And we're currently expanding that team. So it's just a lot of face-to-face time and understanding, what does support look like for each person? What does support look like for that location as a whole? And what's working and what's not working?
Mm.
I considered I actually did release one of our modalities we had added. It just wasn't working. The provider wasn't the right fit, and we'll bring it back potentially in the future. I considered releasing another modality, and because we had one person in that modality only, and they left abruptly they gave notice at the end of the day before I was leaving for my time away from office.
Yep.
Which is what it is. And so I considered just releasing that modality from our service offerings. But what do you know? A provider who is in that modality, who was on the very original version of our clinic's team, who used to rent a room here at our clinic. That was our first business structure, was people renting rooms. And she had been here for a year, and we've stayed in touch for 10 years. And she's been in the community. She had her own brick and mortar, and then she took time away. She's been working for someone else. And I asked her to fill in because we had a full schedule of clients. And she popped on in, filled in, and of course is amazing. I know that she's amazing. And after she left, I sent her a text and offered her a job. And she starts this week.
Woo! That's a coup, isn't it?
Yeah. And the timing finally matched up, because I've wanted her back on our team for a long time, and it just hasn't been the right time,
Mm-hmm.
So now we have the right space, we have the right clientele, we have the right marketing for her services, and she's just amazing. And it gives me new inspiration for that modality, because I had kind of felt like, do we really need it? But now I'm super, super excited to have that reinvigorated. And then, yeah, so that's a big win for us.
That's huge, and well done for stepping in where you needed to. I'm curious, was there one or two things that you had assumed were going well, but when you stepped into the role, realized that you had not been able to see were not going well?
How about 20 things?
Okay, give us the highlights, Kendall.
So this is what's most important about this, and why I'm actually enjoying it so much being the director right now, because I can viscerally feel the whole company and what has been synergistic and what has not, because our 2 locations, they're meant to be sister locations, and we offer different services at the 2 locations. So they're not a replication of one another, right? So our clients come to both spaces, and our team collaborates. We all meet together. So it's all supposed to be very cohesive. Okay, let's probably top highlight that I noticed as soon as I get down there is the team members are coming to me with questions that I am really, really surprised by, that they're asking me for the answer. And that what I realized is that certain things really had not been delegated to admin staff or the leads in the way that I thought that they were being delegated, and that they had been, I was coaching our director every week, and we were having check-in every week. And so my understanding was that these things were being put in place, and they were not being put in place. And so people are coming to me with questions that I haven't been getting at our clinic, because we have an office manager, we have admin staff, and I haven't fielded those types of things in years. So what I realized was, number one, that location is still in its infancy as like
Right.
a tangent of our company, right? It's not a
Mm-hmm.
separate company, but it's a separate location and it's growing. So I can't expect it to be at year 10 when it's at year
Mm-hmm.
2.
Mm-hmm. That
So
makes
I had,
complete sense, doesn't it?
yeah, it makes complete sense. And I went, whoa, okay, we have to nurture this like an infancy business because it is. So I've been really working on, okay, how do we delegate and what's appropriate to delegate? And number two, what I realized is that I had asked our director I had expected things from our director that were actually not realistic. And that made her job harder.
What like?
So the compensation structure we had in place, the way that we were able to afford that position was that the director was also a provider, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great idea, right? We do this in our clinics, hybrid positions. Many of us do it. Well, that position, and I mean, I knew because I had done the clinic role here at our healthcare clinic. I had been seeing, before I stopped seeing clients, I would see 15 clients a week and do the director role. And I knew for years it's not sustainable. The director role is a full-time position, but it was where we were at the time, and it was agreed upon, and also everyone involved felt like, okay, we can make this work. This director was seeing 15 to 20 patients a week and supposed to do the director role, which is really, in itself, just for that location, could be full time. You could make, there's enough work for it. So I realized when I started down there a few months ago, it just wasn't fair. It wasn't fair to the director. And of course, she was burnt out. And of course, she was dropping the ball because how could she not drop the ball? There's too much to manage. And of course, the team didn't see her because she was seeing patients all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if part of it was the assumption that at the beginning of the spa location, when client numbers are much fewer because you haven't
Lower.
grown
Yeah.
that base, then it's appropriate. But as one grows, as the clinic grows or the spa grows, so there should be an inverse
There should have
number
been.
of
And it's
hours,
like,
maybe.
that
I don't
was
know.
the plan, right? That was the plan. But then the director also, which was a disservice to her, was putting her in the role before she was ready and putting her in the role before she was ready to not do clinical work anymore.
And you can't force that, can you?
You can't force it. And when someone loves the clinical work and is not ready to step back from it, then, that created a barrier. And I take responsibility for, I saw it as a huge opportunity for her to be in this role. And it was what she wanted and had voiced her long-term goal. That's really what she wanted to do. And there was a lot of appreciation for that opportunity. And I still take responsibility in that, which I've learned over and over the years of having people move into leadership without proper training. And just because we're great clinicians doesn't mean we have learned how to lead or that we enjoy managing people or coaching people or leading people. And so I always take responsibility for that, where it's, as much as we felt like, okay, we're ready, we can do this, there still could have been more training beforehand. There could have been more detailed preparation, I suppose, in looking back.
Well, hindsight is 2020, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think, for the roles that you and I are talking about in leadership, you can't go on Indeed and find somebody who's rocking and rolling ready to do that full time. It has to be
Yeah.
somebody who's been in the practice to some extent, or
It
maybe
does.
been in a similar practice. And so it's always a gamble. You're
Yeah.
hiring on potential. You're moving them into that role on potential, but the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. And I have so much appreciation for her in her level of organization. And, this director and I, we built the spa location together. And we went through the creative process together. And so I have a lot of gratitude and appreciation for that process and stepping into it in a way that she prepared. She set the next person up for success in so many ways in that role. And so I sit in office and I just have gratitude towards her and in that way of having things not be as hard as they could have been to walk into. And it's been really lovely to just get to know the team in a deeper way and also be able to vision forward for the whole company in it feeling more grounded. I think personally that I literally have one foot in each location, and that feels more tangible right now to be able to vision forward.
I love it. It's a lot though.
It's a lot. Anna, we're already at the end of part 2. We're going to have to do a part 3.
We are going to have to do a part 3. Well, thank you for sharing. That's really insightful.
Of course. Hopefully not oversharing, but I also feel like our listeners just appreciate hearing our real honest experiences.
However icky and imperfect they are.
Yes. Anna, thanks for being here as always. And we invite everyone to join us next week for part 3. We're going to continue this conversation and learn more about Anna's clinic expansion.
All right. Lovely to be here. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. We hope you found the episode insightful and helpful.
Remember to visit our website at wellnesscentercreators.com for show notes, additional episodes, and more resources to help you on your wellness center journey.
We always love hearing from our listeners. Your feedback, questions, and experiences are invaluable to us and help us shape the content we create.
So please don't hesitate to reach out to us anytime. You can contact us through our website or via social media. We're here to support you.
If you know someone who could benefit from the information and insights shared on this podcast, please take a moment to share the show with them. Together, we can help more health and wellness professionals create thriving practices.
Thank you again for tuning in and for being part of the Wellness Center Creators community. Your dedication to providing exceptional patient care is truly inspiring.
We can't wait to share more with you in the next episode. Until then, keep creating, innovating, and making a difference in your patients' lives. See you next time on the Wellness Center Creators Podcast.